Hello guys, I'm back again with another debunking video. But this time, instead of debunking another trash Dead Rising 3 review, I'm debunking a response video about Batman Arkham Knight. I should say this now, Batman Arkham Knight is, I think, probably the best Arkham Batman video game, fight me. There are definitely some things about it that I do find annoying, like the boss fight with Deathstroke. I was very disappointed in that. But anyways, this random YouTuber Revolver Snake and SK have been in a bit of a war for about I think like a month or two now, and while SK keeps on responding pretty well, this guy just keeps on repeating the same talking points while also not giving proper responses to any of his videos. And there's a bunch of, I'll link all their videos in the description so you guys can get proper context for like the whole upbringing to this point. Anyways, without further ado, let's get on with this.
He did a response to me, and whoa, mama, an hour long. That's awesome. I was about to go outside.
Yeah, because you made your video like 50 minutes long.
And enjoy life, so I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna try to keep this response a little shorter. Let's see.
If you haven't already watched my previous video, it provides proper context for what I'm responding to. Since the video is a response to that, you're probably going to need to watch it to understand what I say here. Anyway, here's my prediction. He's either going to repeat the same arguments that I've already addressed, ignore and skip over the evidence I provide, or proceed to miss your clips that he talks over.
Unironically, he has done that in like all of his videos up to this point.
Surprised he's this defensive over Arkham Knight. I mean, look, I like Arkham Knight, but
he's not really being defensive. He's just debunking bad criticisms. Yours are included. Being defensive would be defending criticisms that are actually valid with no stance on them whatsoever. He's not being defensive, he's just debunking bad criticisms. That's it.
The best Arkham game? Nah, I mean...
He never said that Arkham Batman was the best Arkham game. What are you talking about? He just said it's a good game.
And one of the major issues with Batman Arkham Knight is that the boss fights aren't that good. And the story.
We'll see for...
Can you elaborate as to why that is the case, or are you just going to say something without a proper explanation? Because the boss fights, I can understand. The Deathstroke boss fight wasn't exactly very great. But the story, can you explain at all why the story is bad? I don't think you can.
And this video didn't need to be 50 minutes long. At times he repeats the same points, goes on random tangents, and overall lacks a proper structure for his video, so you can only imagine why I'm skipping parts.
I actually like how he watched the full 50 minutes of videos. That's awesome. Okay, let's see.
Here's a clip of how Batman saves something surrounded by a bunch of men with machine guns or whatever. And weapons are using.
Well, yeah, there's my good quality video footage. I recorded that off my laptop where Batman takes down a bunch of these henchmen, and they have like machine guns and stuff. So it's weird to me how, you know, Batman, you know, hesitated with Scarecrow and strapped himself down. Because, you know, the thing about Scarecrow is that he only had a pistol.
He did it because he risked getting Tim and Gordon killed, since there were multiple armed guards in the other room. They were guarding the outside of the room, as explained later by several thugs later on. Most of the thugs in question were working with Arkham Knight in the first place, and Scarecrow. And they knew that there were guards outside of the room. And before you bring up a whole, Batman could just scan him with his detective mode if he wanted to. First of all, detective mode has a limit to where it can only scan around scan a single room, and even if he could scan an entire building, we don't know that the guards are just wearing detective vision blocking armor, which was introduced pretty well in the game, in my opinion. It made stealth missions a lot harder.
Oh my goodness, he's talking over this Lego
hold on.
Batman game.
Sorry, my headphones are being buggy. I can't hear. Okay, there we go.
She's talking over this Lego Batman game, and in this game, it looks so empty and lifeless. That's why I haven't bought it.
Soon after losing...
I don't understand in any way how that is relevant to what he is saying at all.
Jason, besides Batman looking for Jason.
Alright, so it's talking about Batman losing Jason, and the problem with the Arkham games when it comes to Jason is that they don't really show Batman looking for Jason. So that's why there's not really a sense of urgency when it comes down to looking for Jason.
Because he was looking for him off screen, dude. Like, all of the searching for Jason happened before the events of Arkham Asylum, as shown in the Batgirl DLC for Arkham Knight, when Jason was already kidnapped for months, which was heavily implied by the fact that Joker literally said he hasn't been himself for the past few months. Batman hasn't been himself for the past few months. If he's not, it's like preoccupied, distracted, late, and stuff, and all of that was because Jason was kidnapped. Simple as that. Like, come on, man. Listen to context clues. It's not that hard.
Alright, what
And yet
else?
Joker makes a...
Okay. Oh my gosh, there's my name. I made it on the big screen. Yo, that's awesome. Okay, what else?
Universe.
You know what would be funny? I could just change.
I just love it how he just skips through most of the video to strawman SK's arguments completely and remove all context behind the arguments that he tries to debunk in the worst ways possible.
My YouTube name, and then his response would be useless because he used my name in the credits.
No, it really wouldn't. It would be very easy to find out that it was you because all of your videos are in his description. So it'd be very easy to pinpoint them.
Okay, what else? Okay, back to him talking. What does he say here? Oh god, this part right here sucked. Like, first of all, they could have used this opportunity to actually kill off Barbara Gordon, but they chicken out and just keep her alive. And then when Batman decides to use Poison Ivy, he gets over Barbara's death pretty darn quickly, and I don't like that moment. There's actually a great Batman TAS episode where Batgirl, aka Barbara, ends up dying, but it's actually just a nightmare that she's having under Scarecrow's fear toxin. But still, that episode was way better written than this scene right here. Like, I'm just not a big fan of fake out death, so that's another big problem with Arkham Knight story.
Wow, that was a really long-winded response of absolutely nothing. So, first of all, they wanted to keep her alive in order to get to Gordon and force him to follow his orders. It's because of that that Gordon was able to get Batman under Scarecrow's authority and basically forced Batman into a situation where it was pretty much no win. Anyways, second of all, he doesn't get over his death quickly, you idiot. He mourns her to the point where he finds her as showcased in many dialogues, such as the dialogue with Tim after he explains what happened, and the many dialogues he's had with Alfred when he is very sad and upset, and a lot of points resorts to anger out of directly towards Scarecrow and his thugs because, well, they were involved in her supposed death. And also, fake out deaths are not that bad, man. Don't be such a baby.
Let's see.
Found it, Batman.
Why are you using all this footage of Arkham Knight? Nobody asked.
To provide proper context and evidence for his points, unlike you, who just skips over all context to strawman arguments.
Task.
Like, Arkham Universe Batman, I don't even think he sleeps. He's that broken.
Literally everyone needs to sleep. Do you...
Literally everyone needs to sleep. Okay, well, what did Arkham Batman do after Arkham Asylum? He literally went into the Batwing and flew off to go fight Two-Face. So I didn't really mean that literally, stupid, but you know darn well that Arkham Batman is like at peak physical performance.
Dude, being at peak physical performance doesn't mean he doesn't need sleep. Also, just because he went to fight Two-Face after Arkham Asylum doesn't mean he doesn't need to sleep. That just proves how much willpower he has. But willpower can only get you so far without you passing out from pure exhaustion. That's why he constantly has to take power naps, like 15-minute power naps every couple of hours, or like every hour as shown in several comics in which Alfred was trying to get him to rest properly, but Batman just takes a 15-minute long power nap. Like, good God, man. And also, don't act like SK is the idiot for saying this. You're the one who says you're pretty sure he doesn't sleep. If anyone's being the idiot here, it's you.
Let's see, what else does he say? There's more of my footage. Let's see. Let's see here.
We don't know he was preoccupied with Jason. Okay, so let's use a thing called common sense.
We're still talking about Jason Todd here, who doesn't really have enough screen time in the Arkham games. Look, SK, I know you're like a Zoomer or something, so you don't really have much experience in media. What I would recommend doing is go watch a little movie called Under the Red Hood. That's a great movie. It does Jason Todd way better. Let's see, what does he say here?
So you're not even gonna provide the content that he, in order to like, oh my god. Fine, I guess I'll just do it myself then.
Explain this to you is astounding.
Which is why I'm not talking about that situation. I'm talking about the situations Joker is referring to when he states that if he's not exhausted, he's preoccupied. If Jason was lost months ago, what do you think he'd be preoccupied with?
Well, Batman, the Arkham Universe Batman is really good at multitasking. We don't know if he was preoccupied with Jason.
Okay, so let's use a thing called common sense. Jason was taken months ago. You know this too.
In fact, this DLC has one really bad line where Robin comes in and is like, Robins are supposed to be lucky, right? And this is like months after, Jason Todd got kidnapped and tortured.
So if Jason was taken months ago, and Batman is only acting differently months ago, what could possibly keep him so preoccupied to deal with the Joker? Probably has to do with the fact that he lost someone and is trying to get him back.
In fact, I think if he was preoccupied with Jason, why didn't he have Tim Drake help him out?
To provide context to all of this was basically referring to the point that Revolver Snake made earlier, in which he was saying that Batman being preoccupied wasn't an interpretation of him losing Jason. It was an interpretation of Batman getting older, which, if that were the case, Joker would have just said, he's been getting pretty old lately, which would explain why he's so preoccupied lately. But no, it is never mentioned at all about Batman getting older. It's just mentioned about Jason Todd being kidnapped, as implied with the term baby brain, and the only way to cure baby brain is to get rid of the babies, which implies Jason Todd being kidnapped. Goodness.
Instead of with each other, they needed an outside party with strong knowledge and strategic value to get them to work together, especially since this is after the Joker died, and the public isn't even sure if Batman killed him or not. None of these villains could know for sure if Batman actually started killing.
Look, this time went down. Joker was...
Oh, those are Arkham thugs, though. The thing about Arkham thugs is that they're always getting information wrong. Let's see. They also don't make up the general public either. Those are just literal thugs.
Yeah, thugs that work directly for the biggest criminals in Gotham. Also, what instances of false information can you even bring up? Because from what I've heard from all the dialogue from inmates and thugs throughout all the Arkham games, their information proves to be true later on in the game, or it's already been proven true earlier on in the game. Games, sorry.
And let's see, is that from Arkham? Wait, what? Oh, yeah,
Yes, that's from Arkham City. Jeez, took you long enough.
That's from Arkham City. Yeah, that's a way better game. Alright, so Arkham thugs are saying stuff that's wrong, don't care. Oh, what's this right here? Let's see.
Dollars rich. There's no way Penguin is a billionaire in the Arkham universe. He doesn't have to be, because he's not the only one who helped. And Two-Face constantly...
I don't really care about Penguin. I mean, I love Penguin, but in Arkham Knight, his role is literally a side quest. Why are you bringing up Penguin? Nobody cares, SK.
Oh my god. Because you brought it up, you numbnuts! Of course he's gonna bring it up if you bring it up! Good god, you are an idiot.
Which includes his new building, alongside his sudden interest in...
I'm sorry if I sound more insulting in this video than I did my last debunking video, but oh my god, at least the last guy, I could understand why his criticisms. I can't understand this guy's criticisms because they're just straight up dookie. They're just straight up crap.
Okay.
Heroes around the same time...
Don't care about Lex Luthor because he's not really in the game. So I think the problem with SK is that his video is just way too long and boring and just dragged out for no reason. So
okay, dragged out for no reason, dude. He has to drag it out because you made the video 15 minutes long in the first place. So he has to make a long video to properly debunk yours, like every good debunker does. While you, on the other hand, barely put any effort into it, into even partially discrediting him in the worst ways possible. Good God, you are so lazy at this. It is astounding. Even in his longer responses, he just repeats the exact same points over and over and over again. Oh my God. Anyways, the rest of this video is just him showcasing a bunch of games and stuff that are not relevant to SK's video at all. So, I guess I'll just end the video here because it's probably already long enough as it is. Yeah. That was absolutely terrible. If you want to figure out all the context behind this entire war and this video, I will put all their videos in the description. Anyways, I think that's about it. See you guys later.